Good afternoon, I think, or good morning, whatever. We're right between you and lunch. Okay. So if you don't pay attention, you're not going to get good lunch. I'll just kickstart this conversation quickly with three panelists that we have today here. Aarti Madhusudan runs a non-profit called Governance Counts that actually helps other organizations build better boards in their organizations. She's been a Dhanutsav volunteer since 2009 from the time it started. Dr. Prahladan is the founder of Bhumi, a non-profit that actually works with a lot of youth. I think many of you here have heard of Bhumi. And he has also been involved in Dhanutsav for what now, 2012, so for 6 years. And Navneet is actually a student. He's wearing a jacket. He looks a little older. But he's a student right here at Manipal University. And he's been celebrating Dhanutsav here for how long? 3 years, right? So you all saw this short film, and although there was some audio track missing, I think you might have got some idea of a whole bunch of people doing a whole bunch of things during something called Dhanutsav. Let me just check. How many of you know what Dhanutsav is? What is this Dhanutsav? Oh? Last row? You know, be that mean teacher who asks the last row kids to answer questions, right? Anybody here has heard about Dhanutsav before? Okay, 2 or 3 hands going up. A lot of you haven't. Okay. So can I just start by asking Aarti, can you just tell us a little about what Dhanutsav is itself in the first place? Yeah.
Okay, before I begin, I want to hear a good afternoon from everybody loudly. I want to make sure you all are awake. Okay. I'm going to throw 2 questions. I'm going to throw 1 question at you, okay? How many of you believe that in each of us there is inherent goodness? Raise your hands. Up, up. Raise 2 hands if you really, really believe. Okay. Hands down. Good. The lady in the second row in the red, will you clap? Okay. The person on the aisle with the white shirt, will you clap? Okay. Somebody with the blue kurta over there, ma'am, will you clap? Okay. Will all of you clap? Thank you. So what was the difference between each person clapping and all of you clapping? Can somebody tell me? Loudly, just stand up and shout, yeah, come on, it's okay. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. So in 2009, a group of us got together and said, imagine if everybody in the country together at the same time, each of us who believed that there is inherent goodness actually did something for somebody else, but did it together. Would it be a great thing or not? And so that is how the idea of the festival was born. And we said, if for 1 week in the year, from October 2nd to 8th, we got every single Indian to do an act of kindness for somebody, but did it together, it would be something that we could celebrate. And it would be something that would become as wonderful as all the other festivals in the country are. Diwali, Eid, Christmas, all of those. The one thing that is common with all those festivals and Dhanutsav is that lots of people come together and do something wonderful, right? And that is what the festival is about.
Okay, thanks. So, you know, as a student, if I were one, and I tried being one by sitting at the last bench, right? One of the questions that comes to mind is, this is all good for old people like you, right? You all are making lots of money, you are earning. We are all young, we are still not yet started earning. Where can we start giving from? And second is, we have to build our careers, we have to learn things, we have to, you know, be successful in life. So, giving is all meant for old people like you. How will I as a student benefit if I were a college student, right? So why not just ask this question to the college student we have here. So Navneet, does this all this Danutsav business, does it help you at all? Does it make any difference to your life? Have you found a girlfriend because of it?
The last question is no, but
Then what use is it?
I started out in Manipal in 2015 as a shy backbencher. I was introverted. I never used to go out much and talk to people much. And because of a senior, Shreyas Pai is somewhere there probably, he forced me into doing volunteer activities. And because of that, I got into VSO, and because of that, I got into the Danutsav activity as such. And then, the man is here, the one who made me do this. And because of and this sitting with real change makers on stage, being part of a panel is a testament to that. For someone who never could speak out in class itself, speaking to an audience of 500-600 right here, yeah, my hands are shaking, but not as much as it would if I was not part of this. So this has given me more confidence. This has made me more empathetic as a person. This has given me great networking opportunities. I've met students from all colleges in Manipal, and because of the Danutsav national meets that I've been part of, I've met students and other professionals from all different parts of the country. I have grown as a person, and I think I'm a better person and better presenter, better leader, and better all-round a package or a CV in itself. So these activities that I've been a part of, these have bettered my mind, bettered my thinking skills, and it has gotten me introduced to a lot of people and a lot of different activities, which might come for some use in some time. There's never say never, right? So that's
Lovely. So I think wonderful, right? I mean, it's so nice to see all the things that he picked up. And for Professor Anup Naha, who's here, maybe this year in Danutsav you do something that will help young boys like this get girlfriends as well, right? Dr. Prahladan, both personally for yourself, you're an ophthalmologist, you're a doctor who chose to give up your medical profession to work with students, etc. And you've also seen a lot of college students across India, because that's what Bhumi works with, celebrating Danutsav, organizing acts of giving for other people, etc. Have you encountered other examples like this? How has it been for you personally? Any other thoughts around this?
So I think his story is not his alone, his story of change. I've seen literally hundreds of young people walking into Bhumi orientations as shy young people, transforming into leaders with all the things he said. I think it really helps. They say in social work the resources are less, and if you learn to work with that, you become a better person, you become a better leader, which is what corporate companies look for when you hire. I've known a lot of people whose entire interviews have been about what all did you do at Bhumi, what all sort of activities did you do, what all leadership roles you do. I even know someone who got into IIM Ahmedabad, just his entire interview was on what he did at Bhumi. So it's not just for Navneet, he's not some outlier who benefited from this. It's possible for each one of you. And I'm not talking about some other people, even me 12 years back, I'm still an introvert, but 12 years back I was very shy person, and standing and talking to a lot of people would have been a very difficult thing for me then. But I'm a very different person now, and it's because I got a chance to work with a lot of young people, doing things, getting things done. So Danutsav is definitely not for old people, it's for us.
Okay, interesting. So, we saw the film, but partly there was a little bit of audio glitch, so I'm not sure if we really even got it properly. Do one of you want to just share, Navneet, why don't you start by sharing what exactly do you guys do during Danutsav here in Manipal? Yeah?
So Manipal started celebrating Danutsav in 2012 after a volunteer of Danutsav, Rajan Narayanan, came to our university, talked to our professors, talked to Dr. Anup about the activity, and we picked it up. And every year we've been scaling up our activities, and we are currently the largest university as such to be celebrating Danotsav, and it's going to get better and bigger every year. So my first Danotsav was in 2016, where there were very innovative projects. When it comes to students, we have this, we do not have money, we're not earning, like sir said. So we need to come up with workarounds, fundraisers and you know, charity balls and all of that work. But we as students, what can we do? We are you know, professionals or going to be professionals. So we use our skills, we use our creativity, we use our innovation. We do things that that ideally would not occur to old people. So, so that is what the crux of Danotsav in Danotsav in Manipal University and Danotsav in schools and colleges in general is about. And so Manipal, what we've been doing, we've been something as simple as writing a letter to the Syrian refugees. That is something that everybody can do. That is something that all students can do. Put up an info desk in a crowded area, and people walk through there. They write a letter, and that's an act of giving. It can be something as again simple as giving tea to all the security guards who sit in the night. That was my first project, and that was a very unique experience. They saw, you know, students popping out of the security campus patrol vehicle and giving them tea, and they were absolutely you know, stunned, and they appreciated the sentiment. And you know how that helped. Last year when we were doing the conference, we were, you know, dropping delegates in the hostels, and we were walking around in the campus at night. Ideally, you're not supposed to walk you know, in the campus at night. And the campus patrol vehicle came. He saw the Danotsav badge on my this one, and he's like, "Where's your hostel? I'll drop you. I'll drop you." That's one of the good ways of getting into the campus patrol vehicle and not being picked up for you know, the bad reasons that you all know about. So unique ideas is what Danotsav in universities and schools and colleges is about. And yeah, car washing. That's something that's you know, kind of practiced in the US, but we have so many faculty you know, who stay in, you know, the apartments and the you know, staff quarters. We sent out an email through the exchange admin to all of them saying that volunteers are coming tomorrow and for raising funds. We went there, we washed their cars, and it was done just before Ayudha Puja, so that they don't have to do it themselves. And funds were raised. A good number of funds were raised. And you know what we did with that funds? We realized that the bus drivers of Manipal University and the, you know, the public transport, they did not have proper water bottles. They used to pick up the Bisleri bottles which are overused, or they used to drink water from this one, you know, taps which were not hygienic. So we bought water bottles and gave it to every bus driver. We bought tiffin boxes and gave it to every bus driver. We bought air masks and gave it to the traffic policemen who you know, were in this one. So fundraising activities can be done in an innovative way. In an innovative way, instead of, you know, organizing a, you know, charity ball or anything, which old people do. So innovative ideas is what you know, Danotsav in universities is about. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, we take the message. You know, how do we get these old people off? Maybe Anup, you should have dug half a grave here. I could have kept 1 foot in the grave already, right?
I don't consider myself old, so I'm not feeling bad at all.
Okay. So on that note, Aarti, so do you want to share a couple of other such examples of what youth in colleges in other parts of the country may have done?
Yeah, so I want to talk about an organization called the Talent Quest of India. It's run by a young guy called Ram, who started it whilst he was in college. And you should actually Google TQI and see how their journey has been. And he basically started this in, you know, very interestingly. So his view was, so he was an alumni of the SRM University, and like you guys here, many of the kids in SRM come from other parts of Tamil Nadu and other parts of the country. So he started TQI primarily as a way to encourage children who were young people who were coming from other parts of Tamil Nadu develop more confidence. So all the kinds of things that Navneet talked about, that was one of the main reasons to have started TQI, to say, can we get young people together who may lack confidence because they come from other parts and may not know the language or may not be very comfortable in Tamil Nadu, a way to express themselves. And the way that the kids expressed themselves was through acts of volunteering. And Danutsav was a great platform that they used to encourage kids to do very specific acts. So what they would do is, anybody who came from a particular town or a village, kids would actually go back to those villages or to those towns and work with the local school children of the places that they came from and do various things. So they would do awareness drives, they would do stationery collection drives, they would do tree planting. What the kids managed to do was to not just do acts of volunteering themselves, but also got the entire community that they came from to participate. So 32 districts of Tamil Nadu, and now as TQI has grown to some other parts of the country as well. You have kids going back, evangelizing the festival of giving, primarily doing acts of volunteering and giving by involving the local community and the local schools. So that is something that's also, that can be quite easily scaled by you in your own parts of the country that you come from.
Any other examples? Doc, you work across India, right? So do you have any other examples?
So I would like to share a few. So last year during Danutsav, Bhumi reached out to about 8,000 volunteers across 40 cities. And some interesting ideas that we saw from Bhumi and other organizations. So you might think that some of the, like Navneet also shared how they fundraised and all that, but it's very easy to do, especially for a college student, to do something without spending a rupee, right? So college students in Indore, they got together, they collected old clothes and donated it to Gunj. So they didn't spend any money. They tied up with shopkeepers across the city, had collection booths. They tied up with a media agency who, put paper, talked about their event every day. Radio broadcast about it, and people came and donated. All these things were just transported to Gunj. So simple, right? No money was spent. They tied up with everyone and did things. In college, now I'm more organized, but in college, and I'm sure most of you also, we are very used to studying in the last minute, getting done in the last minute, right? So this student from Sastra University in Tanjavur, she came to know about Danutsav only 2 days before Danutsav. But still she managed to reach out to a bunch of people, got together some 70 people and managed to do 11 different activities during Danutsav every day. So Danutsav 7 days, lots of colleges including Manipal University, they do different things on every day. So planting a sapling, cleaning up a park, something like that. So different things on different days. Some students have been very enterprising, like this college in Bhubaneswar, like one student, she reached out to the NSS, right? There are already people who are sensitized to doing some sort of social work. Got 500 students from a college to do a road safety awareness campaign across Bhubaneswar, right? You might think, what can I do, right? But as college students, I think we have the power of numbers with us. And there are lots you can do if you can mobilize people in your college, mobilize people in your social clubs. So there are many examples of really young people doing fascinating things, but happy to talk to you about that some other day. But don't think that, what can I do? If you've not done anything until now, it's not too late to start.
Lovely. So I think there are a bunch of colleges here who have also been participating. I know there is a contingent from NIT Trichy here. Anybody here want to raise your hand? Is there a way to reach a mic out to them? Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, no, there's another mic there. Should go. Any other colleges here that have celebrated Danutsav in a big way? Okay. So, do one of you want to just quickly share how NIT Trichy has been celebrating?
We have two major things. One is called as Wish Tree, and we have fest, cultural fest just before Danutsav, and it acts as a publicity platform where we collect what are the requirements from schools and orphanages. We make it into leaves and we put it as a tree. So people from even other colleges, when they come for a fest, they donate it, and we collect, we use the money to buy materials and give it back to those people. Another one is during the Danutsav week, we have something called Gala for Kids, where we bring around 400 to 500 orphanage students and just spend time with them throughout the day, breakfast, lunch, have some competitions with them, and just giving them some prizes and give some takeaways and making them feel better. This is one of the few major things that we do during Donuts.
Okay, and so how does that make you feel when you do this?
Even though we feel happy at the time, but at the end of the day, we feel bad. It's just one day you're giving to them and you're not going to see them for the rest of the year. So some people do go back to those orphanages, do spend some time, but still at the end of the day, you feel kind of guilty that it's just one day you're just doing it for something, but you can't just keep up with it. That's it.
And so what are you planning to do about that guilt?
As of now, I have no idea.
Close your eyes, it will disappear. But in many ways, you know, how many of you have been to a sweet shop, a sweet meat shop, where they sell sweets? Nobody's been to sweet shops here? Or you're already asleep? Okay. So what does the shopkeeper do in most cases when you enter a sweet shop and you are still looking around and you don't do anything for 5 minutes? What will the shopkeeper do in many cases? Huh? Sample? Yeah, do most of you remember? They'll break some sweet and give you a piece and make you taste it. Yeah? So in a way, Danutsav is like that, right? It's a week-long festival made to get everybody to sample the act of giving, get you to taste it. And like he said, you'll taste it once and then you'll go back and say, no, but I want to eat this every day, right? And the idea is, can we then inculcate that daily giving behavior in all of us? So just, you want to say something? Namit?
It's also, there's another aspect to it. There are people who will say, acts of giving are done all the time throughout the year. We do it all the time. Why should we celebrate Danutsav? That's all the more reason that you should celebrate Danutsav. You do acts of giving throughout the year, but do you celebrate that act? Danutsav is about that act. You, as a person, you do acts of giving throughout the year, and this 1 week is for you to experience the joy in giving, to celebrate that giving, and it can be done in any sense. You do not have to, it's like Sir said, it's not just a monetary this one. You as an engineering student or a medicine student or a dental student, for example, look at these all of these smileys. They have been created by using scrap by the Faculty of Architecture and Interior Design. So what happens is, you as an engineer, what can you give back to the society? You have tech that you can use to go out and develop more technologies to aid the poor, social innovation. That's the in trend topic right now, social innovation. How you can socially innovate, how you as community medicine or medical professionals can go out and reach out to the society in your own professional orientation. And there are so many examples of that sort. You can go to our Danutsav stall and check out how we've done things in the university, because there are so many different schools doing so many different things that suit them as as students of that particular institution.
Great. So both Doc, Aarti, any other points that you want to make, and then we'll open it up for questions if it. Yeah.
So we were actually in Goa a couple of days ago at BITS Goa, and the kids there, came up with a very, very interesting, couple of interesting ideas. One is, of course, the first challenge was that, but we have exams during that time, or we have to study, and I can see some heads nodding, quite vigorously. And the way that they have decided to overcome that challenge is by doing two things, okay? One is they're planning to do a collection drive. Very, very easy to do, right? I mean, you can donate what you can go around the community, within the campus, go around, collecting material that can be then donated to Gunj or other local orphanages. So that is something they're planning to do. The other interesting thing that they're talking about, and I'm emphasizing talking about, is what they're calling a Mirchi challenge, okay? Mirchi, everybody understands green chili. Okay. So the idea is for an individual.
You want to share the why first?
Yeah. So why a Mirchi challenge? So we met one of the professors on campus, and he shared a very interesting story that in places like Bihar and in some tribal communities, there is so much hunger and so much poverty that sometimes parents will give their children green chilies to eat so that the child will eat and fill their stomachs up with water and that they don't then have to be given a meal. Okay? So the kids, when they heard this, were extremely disturbed and they said, imagine if for every mirchi that a person ate, somebody would donate for a meal for a child that was not going to get one. Right? And so the more chilies you ate, the more donations towards meals you could raise. And the idea was to reach out to alumni of BITS Goa itself and also to the other BITS members to do this. So that's a very interesting idea that they are talking about and something that we think can be very easily replicated across the country. Everybody can do it. Everybody can eat one mirchi for if that's going to feed a child somewhere, right? However difficult it might seem at this moment.
And at the same time, they're trying to make it fun. So they're
Correct.
saying, you know, how do you post it on Instagram? How do you, which of course you guys all know much better than old people like us how to do, right? As we've been reminded several times today.
Also the VNIT example, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. One other example that, you know, I personally also want to share is VNIT Nagpur. I don't know if there's anybody from VNIT Nagpur here. But one of the very interesting things they did is they said, we are not going to just stop by doing activities in our own campus. They actually went to Indian Oil, got all the 26 petrol pumps covered. They ran a build-up campaign on the billboards and other parts of the city, inviting people to bring their materials that they wanted to give. And so throughout the week from 2nd to 8th of October, VNIT students ran a collection drive across the city of Nagpur. So it was 2,000, I mean, campus size is about 3,000 students. 600 of those students participated in it. But what is more important is they got more than 60,000 people of Nagpur to participate in the festival, right? So the idea is how do you go beyond just your own community, but as youth, and we started yesterday with a panel saying youth as agents of change, that if you're going to be agents of change, then you've got to go outside your own campus and actually start making the change out there in the wider community. Any other comments, Doc?
So when Aarti meant kids, she meant college students, but that just struck me that it's not just young college students, even kids are doing a lot of things. So kids in the slum communities we work with, they do campaigns, collect sugar, rice, donate it to other orphanages. There are lots of, every year the children of Euro kids, toddlers, they take out a rally. So when small kids can do it, why can't we do something? Yeah?
Lovely. So, yeah.
Also, coming back to colleges, what happens is colleges and universities across the country are melting pots of different cultures. There are students from all across the country coming to one place to study. And after 4 years or 3 years or whatever your academic period is, you go back to your homes and you take this message of Dan Utsav back there. We've had so many alumni, and some of them are, some students are still here. Anand, for example, or Omkar, I don't know if he's here. What they've done is they've gone back home and spread the message of Dan Utsav in their own homes. So this is an opportunity for students to take this festival to bigger heights. And the things that you do in college are starkly different from the things that you can do in villages and your cities. And if you are from a rural area, they will listen to you and they listen to your ideas. Anand, for example, has would you like to share what you've done for Anantapur in this one? The roads and...
Yeah, this is Anand. So I was after my +2, I have been to my village. I saw there is no roads at all, there is no middle water plant, there is no sanitation. Like we are under this generation, we are in such a well-settled position. They are in very bad. I took the initiative to help them. So I went through PMJSY app, I got a roads and mineral water plant has been established, street lights, sanitation, everything has been, like me and my dad taken care. So then I realized something better can be done throughout the center in the locality. So then I formed the Kisan Development Trust, especially for the farmers. So through that I have given the motor water pumps, which are well advanced. Through their mobile SIM itself, they'll get a message whether it is in on or not, and the water capacity, like that.
So taking what you've learned in college back to your homes taking the message of, you know, giving and giving back to the society, giving back to your own place of birth. That's what you as students can develop in, not just the Danutsav for that matter, in the spirit of volunteerism itself.
Lovely. So I think what we'll do is we'll stop here. The message is very simple and straightforward. Danutsav is just a festival. A festival is an opportunity, right? Holi as a festival is an opportunity to do many things. I know what a lot of young people try to do with Holi, right? Make the most of the opportunity. Similarly, this is another festival which is an opportunity to bring the best out of ourselves, right? The best of ourselves in our competence, the best of ourselves in our goodness, the best of ourselves in our ability to engage people around us. So we leave each of you with this question: how are you going to bring the best out of yourself and your communities this year in Danutsav? Right? Thank you. So we'll now check if there are any questions, we'll take them. If there are no questions, you get your lunch faster. So you decide. And you can't beat up the person who asked the question, huh?
Any questions?
Speakers are allowed to ask questions? Okay.
I think I have been following Danutsav for many years. So one remarkable feature is that very, very common and humble background people, like say, there were stories of say auto rickshaw drivers in Chennai and other parts, or pavement dwelling vegetable vendors, they doing acts of giving, serving. So can you just, I think this will be very inspiring, that it's not limited to, it's not privilege which is determining giving and sharing, but Danutsav has really inspired all across, across social classes.
I just want to share a story with some of, I'm sure Doc and Venkat have heard a zillion times, but something that has been extremely humbling to me, right? So we often think about, for all my understanding or my so-called understanding of the sector and of the poor and of the rich, I was very humbled 2-3 years ago when I'd gone to meet this housing, this community that was living off the street. So in Chennai, and I'm sure in many other parts, you will find migrant laborers who come in from other parts, right? And they will come there for, say, 6 months or 4-5 months, and then they will leave. Many of them live off the streets with their families. I'm sure you would have seen those, makeshift tents, and there'll be people cooking and all that. So I went to meet this bunch of people in North Chennai and was talking to them about the festival and Danutsav, primarily to understand what are their needs and what can I take back to the corporates and the schools and the colleges in terms of saying that here is a community of 30-40 families that needs, clothes or blankets or books or whatever. And I was talking to them about this. A young 7-8-year-old girl came up to me and of course in Tamil said, so ma'am, you're saying it's a festival, which means all of us should celebrate, which means we also can celebrate. So I said, yes, but in my head I was cynical, right? I was thinking, here is a child who doesn't go to school. So those kids don't go to school, they're only there for 6 months. She's 8 years old, she has no means herself of any access to anything. What can she do? What can she actually give, right? And so I said, sure, what do you think you can do? And she said, all our mothers stand in the queues to collect water from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So what happens in Chennai is that the water lorries will come from Ennore and they will go past this settlement. Anytime between 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock, it's up to the whim of the driver to stop and fill the buckets for 2 rupees or 5 rupees. And usually the women wake up at 4 and wait almost on every day of the week till 7. They'll fill the water pots and then they will go back to their other chores and go to work. So she said that 1 week, we will make sure all our moms sleep till 7 o'clock and all the kids will wait in the queue to fill the buckets of water, right? And to me, that was really a moment of revelation because that shows inherent goodness in a 7-year-old child and the ability to give. All of us can give. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have access to anything. You just have to have the desire to do something. Yeah. There are zillions of stories I can tell you over lunch, but...
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.